We open on the plains of a far western state. It's about midnight, and a dark, cold breeze blows across the land. As our view moves swiftly across the ground, we move closer to what appears to be an animal pen, a fence of sorts. As we get slightly closer, a head pops up, a man's face, his mouth covered in blood, as he looks furtively left and right. The sounds of something struggling beneath him grabs his attention once more, and he dives in, continue his feast. Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Bolthra, and welcome to Restless Barbarian Gaming. Tonight, we're going to play Vampire the Masquerade, specifically a story called Forsaken. As an additional trigger warning for folks, on top of our normal gore and guts spectaculars we put on, this story is going to be pretty heavy. It could feature scenes of abuse, gaslighting, violence, all sorts of messed up things. So if you feel something in the story bothers you, please stop viewing. If you choose to come back and watch it later, great. I've given my player a heads up to let them know, hey, if something gets too heavy, I suspect I probably won't go heavy enough, but but I'm not taking that as a challenge. So enough about me. Let's meet our player and let them tell us who they're playing.
Hello, everyone. I'm Minty Bow, and I'm playing an amazing piece of shit known as Roger Thompson. I want you to imagine every time you've stopped at a travel station and you've looked across the way to that guy looking at the beer. You know, bit of facial hair, kind of trying to pull off that Oregon hipster look, probably unintentionally. Looks like he could and probably would bash you over the head with a tire iron for the change in your wallet if he saw you on the edge of the road. But you want to be nice and give him the benefit of the doubt. But you don't want to be alone with him. Not now. Not ever.
We are going to meet Roger first in about April of 2025, maybe really just a couple weeks from when we're recording this. We start in a crowded sports bar in the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota. The name of the sports bar is unimportant. It's a generic local chain where patrons come to cheer on the Twins and the Vikings while board staff serve them wings and flat beer. We notice at the bar a character who's sitting by himself, maybe having some late dinner, maybe doing a couple shots. Why has Roger picked this particular bar out of all the other suds-soaked places here in Minneapolis?
It was the first one off of the freeway to get over here, and there's probably nothing illegal going on in the bathroom. They really don't want to risk getting mixed up with the cops tonight. And the first place they can grab a drink, figure something else out for the night. the better. Because fuck whatever comes tomorrow.
Roger's had some run-ins with the police.
On paper, no. But they wouldn't be surprised if a couple things came back to bite them in the ass. But, well, those things are always worth it, aren't they?
So there might be a warrant out somewhere?
Not yet.
So you're saying he really covers his tracks pretty well?
Either you could say that. You could also say that the shit he's done has been recent enough to where they are still building a case. I mean, after all, why else would he come to fucking Minneapolis, of all places?
And if folks are watching from Minneapolis, we apologize. It's just I picked the starting place. It goes to the story later. So, but we love the Twin Cities here at Restless Barbarian Gaming. On the main TV across the way, Twins just knocked in a run. Some drunk fans start to cheer, and the waitress, the bartender comes over, and she's a girl, probably mid-20s, maybe still a college student, you're not sure, and she says, "Can I get you another?"
I don't think another's gonna fix shit about me. That's gonna make me remember it a little less. Why
It's
not?
always a good start. Okay. Or do you want to double this time?
We'll go single. And if I can
Single?
still see clearly, then I'm gonna need a double.
She slides away to get you another drink. And you notice someone has approached the bar over to your left. You see a relatively good-looking man, maybe kind of a rugged, handsome look, has approached the bar. He's wearing a brown leather jacket, a flannel shirt, some jeans and boots, and he slides up to the bar. There's a couple spots open to your left. He kind of just glances around. He's probably in his mid-30s, kind of has brown, slightly curly hair. Little pale, but hey, you're in Minnesota. Everybody's pale up here. And he sits down about one seat over from you. And just drums his fingers on the bar.
Yeah, everybody's got business at a bar at some point. As long as the schmuck doesn't look like he's gonna shiv me, I don't give a shit who he is. I just care about my next drink.
Waitress, excuse me. I keep calling her a waitress. Excuse me, bartender. Slides over your drink and moves over to the stranger and says, "Hey, honey, what can I get you?" And he kind of looks up and he says, "What bottled beer do you have that's not absolute dog piss?" She says, "Well, that would discount anything from St. Louis. Let me go take a look." And she strolls back, comes back, slides him over a local IPA in a dark bottle. And she says, "That's from St. Olaf's brewery, made just a couple blocks away." And she kind of launches into a story about the brewery that you can tell the stranger really doesn't care. And he actually just pulls out a 10 and just slides it over and says, "I'd just like some quiet, please." She's like, "You got it, buddy." And she goes off to maybe get a food order. Not a lot of people at the bar tonight. A lot of people seem to be sitting at tables to watch the game. Some families, things like that. The stranger takes his beer and kind of looks at it, kind of puts it up to his lips, kind of seems to take a small sip and then puts it down, and then he just kind of looks around and he sees Roger.
Is he just staring at me?
He is. He's just staring at you.
Don't get any funny fucking ideas. I ain't going to the back for anyone.
What makes you think I'm looking for that?
Most people around here are looking to either get drunk or get laid. And judging from how much you apparently do not like that beer, I'm assuming the second.
Never really had a thing for alcohol. There's other
And
things.
yet you ordered.
Well, I wasn't gonna order a Coke.
Why the fuck not? Free country. Or whatever the hell you want.
It's true. And he kind of looks over at some of the tables. And he just shakes his head and he's like, This is what defining men is these days. Some fat, overgrown children and football jerseys. And he's like, look at that one. He points one guy out and he goes, that fucker has wing sauce all over his face. God knows only what his ass looks like if he keeps his face like that.
Yeah, probably looks like the east end of the Mississippi River.
I know what that looks like.
You apparently know a lot.
I've been around.
Been around, but not confident enough to order something that ain't booze at a bar.
Fair point. Fair point. What do you recommend?
Well, I don't think they have it, but if they did, my first choice would be tequila. Beyond that, anything darker the better. And if they hand me a Corona, I will end up in prison by midnight.
That's some of that dog piss that I was referring to earlier.
First thing I've heard a stranger say in the last 2 weeks that I can completely agree with. Consider me shocked. Now, not that I mind the chatter, but, well, you know. And they'll gesture to their own drink.
Of course.
They'll take a drink, but there's something about this guy that they can't describe it.
Mm-hmm.
But either A, he is off his rocker, or B, he is off his rocker, but beneficially so. And Roger can't figure out which one of these two it is. So they're paying attention now.
How curious is he?
I mean, they've spent the last couple days either drunk as can be or nursing a hangover trying to get over here to the city just to figure out their next move. So this is the first person that's been entertaining enough to them. I'd say a healthy dose curious.
Yeah. Let me buy you a shot of that tequila. Let's see how that does for you.
You really are not trying to fight them back alley allegations now, ain't you?
Nah, you got me curious now. See what kind of man can stomach that stuff and see what it turns him into.
Careful. Some
And
folks apparently don't like what I turn into.
Just kind of snaps his fingers, which the bartender does not appreciate, but she comes over anyway. And he's like, 2 shots of tequila. And he just looks over, he's like, you got a preferred poison?
Dealer's choice. Who am I to be picky?
He says, I don't know if this place has a top shelf, but ma'am, your finest tequila. She's like, okay. And comes back, we'll say 2 shots of Patron, which isn't the greatest tequila in my opinion, but anyway, just for the story.
It's serviceable.
Exactly. We're not gonna get into a tequila conversation here. But she comes back, slides him over, and he'll kind of move over like 1 seat next to you. And he's like, cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
To whatever a man is.
Yep. Just back. And yeah, when you do that shot, you're like, oh, you kind of close your eyes. And when you open them, his glass is empty. And he just kind of puts it down gently and just kind of slides it over to the bartender. He's like, not bad. A little thin, my taste, but
a little thin. The hell kind of cocktails you drinking that are making it thick?
oh, there's lots of satisfying tastes and flavors that you can find all over the place. What's your name, friend?
Folks call me Roger, as long as they don't piss me off first.
Roger.
Otherwise, they call me suspect number 2.
Because you fit the description?
We all fit the description when someone's pissed off enough, don't we?
It's true. That's true. Puts out kind of a large hand. Call me Al.
First person I've had the pleasure to meet. And they'll shake the hand.
And it is cold.
Was it cold today, or was it like an average northern spring day?
Minnesota in April. We'll say it was probably starting to warm up a little bit, so it wouldn't be. You wouldn't expect like a cold hand.
Fucking cross, man! You've been working in freezer trucks or what?
I've heard I have circulation problems.
Explains the alcohol issues.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, here's to hoping that they can figure out something that ain't gonna cost an arm and a leg to fix you.
That's true. It's true.
Alright, so what brings you here? Really?
I was looking for kind of a place to not quite hide, but not quite be found. I tend to move around a lot. I've been in Minneapolis for a couple nights now, and I'm not much of a nightclub type. I don't quite fit in with their look. I guess maybe I've always fit in more with the working man, as it were. Although I don't know what the fuck these guys do. Probably sit behind computers all day.
Well, from what I'm overhearing, that one... And they'll point to a table. Apparently some kind of lawyer business type, and probably a liaison of at least 3 secretaries, judging from the amounts of calls he's getting off the clock. And that one, I ain't even need to hear nothing. Take a look at his hands. Not a single callus. Bony. Not enough weight on him. Probably some computers.
Yeah. I think the days of real men doing real work are over.
Were they ever here? Just seems like it was the days of someone stabbing you to bleed you of every penny you got. Man, woman, or whatever the fuck else have you.
How many X's you got?
One large enough to service for 3. And I prefer to keep it that way.
I see you don't get invited for Thanksgiving anymore either.
What for? It's just too many bad shit now. Sometimes you just gotta burn the whole tree and just float in the wind a little bit.
It's funny you say that. You set any roots anywhere, or you tend to move on to following the wind?
When I said sometimes you gotta burn the tree, well, case in point. As far as right now, finding my footing. Not sure if this city's it for me, but we'll find out.
Do you have a home?
Home's where I hang my hat, where I can get a beer in my hands and not get shot in the back by some cop. I think that suffices for right now.
Let me buy you another.
Feeling awful generous tonight, ain't you?
Maybe I'm feeling chatty for a change.
Alright. As long as you're buying, I suppose I can't deny you.
So waves down the bartender. We're gonna cut ahead a little bit. We're gonna say about another hour passes, and Roger's probably had about 3 shots now.
Oh, Roger's feeling it.
Yeah, he's feeling it. And Al, talkative, but you've seen him get those shots, and every time you do that shot, you just wince. Just close your eyes as you wince, and then when your eyes clear, you look back. That glass is empty when he slides it back across the bar.
I imagine at this point, it's not to the point of blackout yet, but it's definitely at a point where you can realize you're drunk. Roger just kind of sets that last shot they just took down. Someone got alcohol issues, sure can't keep up. And its words are slurring a little bit. The vision's blurring at the edges a little bit. It's that point where you know if you keep going hard, you're not going to last another couple hours of this.
So tell me, Roger. And he just kind of leans and tell me, Roger. Everybody's running from something or to something. Which direction are you going?
I don't let nobody tell me what I have to be one way or another. I'm both. Running from shit I had to scorch on fire and running towards something better. Tired of folks just looking at me for a fucking ride. Nah, fuck them. I'm making something for myself, but I don't know what the hell it's gonna be. But it's gonna be for me.
And he slides his hand onto your thigh. Gives it just this like strong squeeze. He says, let's get out of here.
You know, it's been a minute. Why not?
Right.
And Roger will follow him despite, every stranger danger judgment. Because when do we make good decisions?
Tequila does not help with good decisions.
Well, someone right now, tell me a good decision you made after drinking tequila. Tell me right now.
Exactly.
I'm waiting.
Testosterone and tequila equal bad decisions. So,
That's math. That's math.
yeah. They, Roger pays his, Al pays Roger's tab and kind of guides him out of the sports bar. The next couple, we'll say about the next 45 minutes are kind of a drunken stumble where Roger remembers getting into a car and driving. He doesn't quite know where they're headed. Al, at a stoplight, pulls out from his coat pocket a baggie with some white powder in it. He says, "Party favor?"
I like you more already. And they'll take it.
Okay.
Do a decent size. Well, you probably can't cut a line and move a vehicle, but they'll do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me just the stability ever, just nerves of steel, cut a line here in this vehicle.
Exactly. Like when you get to a stoplight, make a quick line, try to snort it. Okay. They end up back at an RV park. And Al leads the kind of now stumbling Roger to the RV and opens up the door. He says, "Welcome to my domicile."
Pledge to be invited. Whew. Whew. And they'll stumble in.
There is only a tiny little light on when you come in. Normally, you would think somebody's coming home. They're gonna flip on the lights. There's only some kind of light from inside. So when he kind of steps up the stairs and kind of stumbles in, he's kind of like, you get this. God damn, it's dark in here.
Man, you really are a night owl if you keep it this dark. Ugh.
Al comes up behind Roger and kind of wraps his arms around, one arm around his shoulders, and then kind of puts like one hand on Roger's neck from behind.
Roger's taken by surprise. They'll not viciously. They're trying to just kind of get a moment of, hey, hold up, let's figure out what the fuck we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to squirm a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But probably not at all effective from the massive amounts of imbibement they have had. So it's a weak, like, confused, drunk slurring of garbage gibberish as they're trying to figure out what's going on.
When he closes the door of the RV, this place smells like a tomb. It's not just even quite BO in here. It's just stale. Just there's no visible windows you can see. And he feels himself being kind of dragged across the room.
I got feet, damn it, come on.
And then he feels himself, and Roger's like a big guy, right? I don't know if we described like his size.
Like they're not a titan, but they're decently sized, like, man, like good sized man, 5'11" or so.
Okay.
Yeah, just about.
Okay. Yeah.
Trucker build.
He feels himself get thrown and lands on what feels like a bed.
At this point, I think wow, Jesus, I'm slurring my words now. Exhaustion, the best intoxicant. I think at this point, the logical part of Roger's brain, which has been so subdued by alcohol and then stimulants, would probably be screaming at him like, hey, this is fight or flight. But, when you make bad decisions, you make them because you want to make them. And there's still that part of Roger in charge that's like, hold on now. Maybe we can work with this. So it's a battle of those two to figure out what they really even want to do. It's hesitation.
And you hear Al's voice say, "Are you afraid?"
Jesus fucking Christ. Pretty strong for someone that looks just like normal. Fuck's your routine?
I work out.
Well, maybe I am. But maybe I don't give a fuck.
And that's when he leans in and begins to kiss Roger. And like grabs his hair, and he's very rough with him.
They would most likely try to return the favor and match them, but they're probably learning by now that this person has a lot more strength than they expected, and they cannot match this. So, as much as they try, it's like a kid trying to imitate a grown man, which I know in this context is a little icky. Just roll with the analogy without the context.
Got it. And then Roger, in the dark, feels this stabbing pain into his neck. And it is painful at first, but then it is the most sexual thing he's ever felt in his life.
They squirm and they fight at first, but the moment the pain turns to pleasure, it's just, you know what? Fuck whatever tomorrow brings of this, but I'm gonna fucking enjoy tonight.
That's where we're just gonna kind of fade to black from there. The next day, Roger is up. And he wakes up and he's not where he passed out. Somehow he is waking up early morning right in front of the sports bar. He's sitting kind of cross-legged with his head back against the wall when that sunlight hits his eyes and the hangover begins.
Damn it. And they're trying to get to their feet, but it's probably going to take a second.
And kind of staggers to his feet. If he manages to remember that he does have a cell phone, and it buzzes to tell him he has some notifications.
Always swear I'm never gonna try that again, and here I fucking am, Boo-Boo the fucking fool. And they'll curse themselves out quietly as they go to look at their phone.
8 missed calls, some notifications about late payments on some things. Probably, again, it's probably Tuesday. He notices that the time says it's 10 a.m. So he's probably lost 9 hours.
Are any of the numbers that called ones they recognize? Or at the very least recognize as not debt collectors or anything?
Yeah, his ex called twice. And he's also got a call from Johnny Irwin, excuse me. Johnny called him.
Oh, Johnny gets the immediate call back as they're stumbling, trying to figure out where they should go next.
Yeah. When he gets up, he notices that one of the employees of the sports bar is just like unlocking the door and starting to go in. She goes, "We don't open for another hour."
It's fine.
She's like, "Okay.
I'll be back later." And they'll shamble off while calling Johnny.
Okay. Yeah, Johnny picks up and he says, "Roger, what's going on, man?"
Just average night. What's going on?
"I was just checking in on you. You ain't been around in a while, and we was hoping to see you over at the club."
Sorry, Johnny. I'm going on a little bit of a finding myself kind of trip, if you know what I mean.
You know Johnny from outside Chicago. So that was probably one of the places you sort of stopped for a while. And Johnny's find yourself.
Me and Lori split.
Oh, well, we all knew that was coming. I mean,
well, then y'all could have warned me that I'd find her in bed with a pool boy if y'all all were so enlightened.
I guess. I mean, it's kind of funny, but he kind of chuckles.
Nah, it's real funny. Here, I got the punchline right here for all y'all. Just come on, tell me the joke.
Man, I mean, she wasn't fucking everybody, but you know, I think she just got tired of your shit. You know, I mean, you know, after they, you know, they took away Scotty.
That don't do, Johnny. I respect you, which is why I'm telling you, if you bring up Scotty right now, I will personally get a ride down there just to whoop your ass. Not now, not ever, but especially not right now. Understand?
You going to meetings?
They made their decision. They decided that I wasn't likely to put myself in a position to whatever the lawyer speak is for raise my own damn kid. So I had to grease palms just to find out that he's been put up with a family over in fucking Idaho. What's over in fucking Idaho? Potatoes? That's better for him?
Maybe. You know I always tell you the truth.
Please, Johnny, enlighten me. What is the damn truth?
I ain't gonna bullshit you. Maybe he's better off away from you guys. Maybe get a chance at a normal life.
I wanted that for him. So why does it seem like every single fucking thing that took him away from me was also determined to make me not able to do that? I've been fucked 6 ways from Sunday by everything in this fucking point. What's the point of it?
Maybe you gotta get right with God. Help me.
If God is up there in the clouds, then I would like to have a very strongly worded conversation with him on what the hell I did to piss him off.
There you go, always feeling sorry for yourself.
It's not sorry, it's realistic. Besides, it's part of this whole finding myself thing. Need to move on to something better. Shake off the dust, you know.
I love you like a brother, but I just can't watch you just keep hurting yourself.
Johnny, I'm not hurting myself. I'm enjoying what life has not taken away from me yet. Now, I love you like a brother too, which is why I'll tell it to you straight as well. If I have only a couple things left to me that ain't been taken away yet, I'm gonna damn well enjoy them before I get put away. Or before someone comes around and says, you can't do this no more, you can't do that no more. Well, fuck them. As long as I ain't hurting nobody important, I don't give a shit. But out of respect for you, I will consider your advice. How's that sound?
I appreciate that. Where are you?
Up here in fucking Wisconsin, man. Twin Cities.
Alright. I'll check back on you in a couple days.
Hey, maybe I won't do something completely fucking idiotic at this point, eh? Hey, I managed to go a couple shots of tequila without setting something on fire.
Oh, you know tequila makes you mean, man.
Tequila makes me honest. If other people ain't ready for fucking honesty, then that's all them.
Alright, brother. I will talk to you later.
Alright, Johnny. Tell the folks I say hello, and tell me when your kid's graduation is. I'll see if I can send them something.
That was last year, Roger. Cody already graduated.
Graduated college. You didn't let me finish.
Same old Roger. Take care.
Be safe. And they'll hang up. Slightly incensed, but a bit more grounded.
Okay. What's Roger's plan for the day?
Well, Roger originally came to the city. They ran a big rig up just to drop off another yard, and now they're just kind of trying to figure out what the hell they're doing now. So I suppose their first order of business is going the old-fashioned way. Any like free newspaper stand or any library with public internet, go in there and start looking around for any sort of transportation or trucking jobs.
Yeah, he can actually just get the Wi-Fi from the sports bar. He probably saw it last night at the bar, and he can just jump on their Wi-Fi. So he didn't have his laptop with him though, so I'm assuming he goes back to like finds his truck or whatever, and then gets his laptop and all that.
Yeah, they stored it in their truck in the yard.
Probably like 2 blocks away. That's another reason he chose this bar, is because it's something he could walk to. So
yeah, so if they get belligerently drunk, they don't have to drive.
Exactly.
They're somewhat smart.
So we'll say he goes back, gets his laptop, and he can either just park himself outside the sports bar. There's probably there's a Starbucks everywhere, so I mean he can, either way he finds a place, sits down, and he starts looking for work. I want to see. We haven't even made a roll yet today. We're already 40 minutes into the game. I suppose we ought to put some of this to work. He kind of looks at some of the usual websites that Indeed, things like that, where he's looking for work. Is there any place that he's been, shall we say, not asked to return to?
There's been some customers that appreciate honesty and candor, and there are others that have definitely said that they prefer a more professional. They've tried to blur the line enough to get by, but there's probably at least 1 or 2 spots that have said, sure, apply. Yeah, totally apply.
He probably spends about an hour at least starting to kind of dig through some of this stuff. He's got some contacts with some places. If he wants to go in the sports bar, it opens. You see them kind of unlock the door. He can go there. He can go somewhere else. What does he decide to do to spend his afternoon browsing?
He's, after looking for work and spending at least a couple hours on it, because he has enough money to get by. More money would be great, but after that time, he starts kind of thinking about the previous night. What does he even remember? Because they were fucked up in more ways than one.
He remembers meeting this charming stranger by the name of Al. That parts of him are kind of like, that dude was really stimulating. I mean, it's almost like butterflies in his stomach in a way, which is probably a feeling he has not felt in years. That the guy was cool, that he was engaging. He remembers doing shots with him. He remembers leaving the bar, and then the next thing he knew, he was outside the bar again. So he doesn't know if he went somewhere or not, because his memory stops at leaving the bar and he woke up outside the bar.
What the fuck was his name? Al? And once it opens, they're gonna look around and see if there's like a public restroom they can like clean themselves up in.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of grunge, like working hot, a little bit too much. Please get out before I call the cops.
Yeah, you can go in and get cleaned up, and very minimal staff. They do some lunch business, but not a lot of people have come in. So it's a different bartender. It's a guy, and he's behind the bar. And it looks like he's like, hair of the dog.
Might take you up on that in a minute, but got a question for you first.
Sure.
There was a fella here the other night named Al something, and they'll give whatever description they can remember. You recognize him? He a regular here?
Nah, doesn't ring a bell. You said he was here last night?
Yeah, he was here last night with me, and, well, just curious to see if anyone knows him.
Nah, no. I mean, we won't know till night shift comes in. So they don't even come in till about 4 or 5. So,
Well,
was everything okay? Did he cause you a problem or anything? Did he?
furthest thing from a problem in a while, but details.
Okay.
How about a bottle for the road?
A whole bottle? I can't sell you a whole bottle, friend.
All right.
This is where you can roll, though. if he's really wants a bottle.
So as they said, Roger just kind of goes, all right, can't sell my bottle. I fully understand, but normally bottles about what, 2 cups, and everyone loves getting sales up right first thing in the morning. So how's about just 2 cups, and nothing about bottles needs to be mentioned.
Is he going to use his charisma or his manipulation?
Definitely manipulation, because they are wanting something out of this person, and it's not a matter of whether they like them or not. It's a matter of, will you do what I'm asking you to do?
Exactly. Let's make a manipulation and persuasion roll, and you are kind of negotiating, so I'll let you use your specialty in that. So, difficulty is 6. So.
Alrighty. So that is 1, 2. That's only 2 successes, tragically. So not our best showing.
He's like, I can give you a road soda.
Shit.
Not top shelf, but.
To hell with it. Better than nothing.
All right. So he gives you a basically a Jack and Coke that's really just this little tiny splash of Coke, and the rest is some Jack Daniels.
They don't have a lot of cash on them, but they will slip like a couple after paying. They will slip him a couple bucks. Okay. And
he just kind of palms it, and he's like, "Yeah, come on back tomorrow. I'll be here. I work day shift."
Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I'll be happy to see you if I do.
Shrugs. Okay. So yes, you've got some alcohol, and you leave. And what's next?
Oh, the minute they're out the door, they are like muttering the worst insults. maybe a unkind descriptor or two as they go back to their truck. And at this point, they've kind of avoided it long enough. If their ex is calling them, maybe she's decided I was wrong and I'm giving you everything I ever owned, or maybe someone's calling him to tell them that she's dead. It could be good news. So he'll take a sip and then hit the call button, take a moment to try and compose himself to not cuss her out immediately.
And she picks it up and she's like, "Hello, Roger. Good of you to call me back."
Sorry, my fingers just can't really get to that accept button sometimes, you know.
Yeah, that arthritis you're getting in your old age.
I guess some things don't bend the way they used to. You'd know all about bending, wouldn't you?
You're funny.
I'm a funny individual.
Yeah.
As much as I love trading barbs with you, I'm guessing you would call little old me for a reason.
Yeah. You know that loan we took out? You remember that? That it was going to be the home improvement loan?
You mean the loan that you used to install a pool and a very interesting individual to manage it? Yeah, I seem to remember that individual more than the pool or the loan, if you were wondering.
You just can't get over that, can you?
You know, I really wish I could. Maybe it's a character flaw, but when you find your wife in bed with someone just 6 months out of high school, when we had a kindergartner, it becomes very difficult to forget, you know? But please enlighten me about this interesting loan details that I'm sure have nothing to do with me.
Well, it needs to be paid, Roger. And the loan we took out together, I cannot afford on my own.
Well, maybe we should have thought about such things before we decided to betray every trust in a marriage, and we decided to ruin a home.
You're such an angel, aren't you?
Angel of Vengeance. Hi, how you doing? God's calling.
Could you, speaking of God, could you get down off? Could you pull those nails off and get off your cross? Everybody's heard all your sob stories, Roger. Oh, poor me. I'm going to do what I want to do, and fuck everyone else, and you just were never anything about responsibility, were you, Roger?
I'm going to give you one grace and let you rethink that statement about responsibility.
Oh, you're going to hit me again? Does that make you feel like a man to hit me?
Maybe not a man, but makes me feel a lot better when I hit someone that deserves it.
Oh, yeah. That was always you.
Me to sometimes.
Oh, really now? Oh, so we want to talk about
when you got a few too many drinks in.
Maybe it was something to make me feel alive, not from some dead drunk fuck like you. But anyway, character flaws aside, will you be helping to pay with this loan that we took out?
That's a very interesting question. And you know what? I will do you the greatest honor of considering to do so. And I will even do you a greater honor. I will do something so magnificent. I will not immediately cuss you out on every person that I know and see about just handling this quietly.
You've called me a whore for years. You've told your friends I'm a whore for years. Maybe I just decided to finally just go for it. So tell everyone, you know what, write my name down on the bathroom walls and those horrible grungy places you hang out in. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'd like some money, Roger. I've tried to be nice about this, but apparently you're just too much of a child to have any kind of responsibility.
Speaking of children, Scotty's in Idaho. How's that make you feel? He's supposed to be in 2nd grade now.
She sniffles a bit. She's like, yeah? You gonna use that against me too?
See, using it against you implies I want something out of you. I want nothing from you. I want you to not be anywhere near me. But I'm just putting this out there so you can kind of understand why I'm frustrated. He's supposed to be painting paper plates for Mother's Day or some stupid shit like that, so that way he could show that he loves us. And what is he doing? Having to learn to call a new set of folks that he ain't blood related to Mom and Dad. How's that make you feel?
Makes me feel better that you're not anywhere near me either. Fuck you, Roger. Click. Or beep.
And in the way that only a person that's hurt so much that they just take every win they can, he just smirks. Yeah. Yeah, she gonna sleep on that one.
Okay. We'll kind of move through most of the afternoon. We're not going to role play the whole afternoon. He maybe gets a lead on a job. There's a company in St. Paul that's looking for a driver, and he sets up an interview for like 2 days from now.
They'll make a note on a calendar somewhere because they not only use it electronically. They have an actual cork board in their truck of, here's a paper calendar. And they will write things like, appointment, you dumb fuck, at 6 p.m. Or, call this person, don't forget, stupid bitch, at 10 p.m. Like, it's just a half obscenities and half actual organization.
Don't get drunk again and forget to call.
Oh, that one already has been X'd through by Thursday on every week in Red Ink.
Now, evening rolls around. What's his plans for the evening?
They're gonna decide to case out the sports bar because they want to see if Al comes in. Because fuck if they know what happened, but they're not in prison and they're not missing any limbs. Mm-hmm. And if they can't remember a night, they can't prove that they didn't enjoy anything. And honestly, at this point in life, knowing that you might have enjoyed what you were going through and just know somewhere deep inside you probably did, maybe, kinda, it's probably better than what he's going through at the moment. So he'll wait and wait a couple hours into the evening, see if Roger shows up. And if he does, well, hey, what's another night of just leaving the world with the sun for a little bit?
He probably gets there dinner time, we'll say. Sun's still up. About 9 o'clock. Al appears. Slides up to the bar about the same way he did the night before. Same bartender's working. And she's like, "Hey Al, it's good to see you again. Welcome back." And he kind of slides up, puts his hands on he's like, "Thanks, Chelsea. I had such a good time last night, I decided I'd come back." Kind of glances over at Roger. And there's my friend Roger.
There's a moment in Roger's mind where, when did these two get on a first name basis? Or perhaps that's just, bartender, "Hi, I'm your friend, please give me money." So it's pinned in the back of their mind, but they'll slide on up, take up a seat next to Al.
"Hey, brother."
Howdy.
"How you feeling today?"
Well, hangover's about as bad as I expected it to be, but can't seem to find any regrets in me. Strange how that works.
That's good. I was hoping you'd be here. I didn't get your contact information.
Well, judging from how I was feeling this morning, I don't know what happened, but it seems we got a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you lived, so I dropped you off back here just to make sure that, well, if something bad happened to you, somebody'd at least find you.
Oh, a charming, saving angel.
And people say I don't give a fuck about people, but that's wrong. Apparently I do.
Apparently we do. So, what's your plan this evening?
Guess there's probably another baseball game on. I don't follow sports very much.
Oh, come on now. Someone like you's got to have something more interesting than that.
I guess if I had to like some kind of sport, maybe wrestling, MMA, something with some bite to it.
Oh, you trying to recreate Fight Club is what I'm hearing.
Well, as much as I enjoyed the book, it seems kind of unlikely to things like that could ever really happen.
Why not? World's your fucking oyster. I mean, how many firsts and unprecedented and historic and batshit fucking insane things we've seen in the last couple of years?
You got a
Why
point.
not?
You got a point. So what do you say? You want to take on that tequila tonight, or you got a taste for something else?
Now, I'm normally never one to turn down tequila, but you wouldn't say something else if you didn't have something else to offer.
He's like, there's other places.
Any you recommend?
Oh, there's a kind of a jazz club a couple blocks away. A little more intimate than this place. And Chelsea comes over, brings him another beer. And he's like, "Thank you, girl." And he slides her a 5. He's like, "I don't like to spend too much time in one place. I tend to move around a lot."
Big open world. Might as well.
It is.
You know, maybe some different atmosphere is what I need. Shake some dust off.
And he's like, "After you."
And Roger does not know the way, but they will happily lead the way to the door.
Okay. Yeah, they get out, and Al turns and looks at him and says, "So do you like jazz?"
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know a single fucking thing about it.
I'm just told it's a fun place, but I'm not much of a jazz fan either.
Yeah, any place can be fun regardless of the music. Guess we just gotta see.
And the next couple hours are spent bar hopping, essentially. They go to the jazz club. They get a couple looks that, maybe they're a little too dressed down for this place. Some of the hipsters kind of giving them some looks. They end up going to a whiskey bar after that. There are multiple shots purchased there.
Allegedly. Because this is where the memory's going to start going.
Exactly. The next place is a really kind of a hip-hop club somewhere in St. Paul, where it's funny is they're the only white people in there, but they don't seem to stand out. It's almost like Al just finds a way to cut through the crowd and just find a place for them to sit and order some drinks. They end up at the bar at some point, making some friends with folks. And at some point, we're saying maybe on like 7th shot or something of the night, plus beers, Al puts a hand on Roger's shoulder and he says, "I think maybe you've had enough for tonight."
What are you talking about? That's just getting started. What? It's not 9 midnight yet?
I got something else in mind.
Here you were saying that I've had enough. Seems like you ain't had enough.
And you guys leave, and you remember driving here, but by the 3rd stop, you don't remember what kind of car it was. You're like, how did I get here?
Details for later.
Details for later.
Details for later.
The next thing you know is you are back at the RV. From the same one from the night before.
Hey, I remember this one. I hope you got the lights fixed.
It comes back to you now. Like when you get in there, the smell instantly triggers something in your brain that you had forgotten. You're like, oh shit, I have been here. And one little tiny light is shining.
They probably have a foggy memory of the minute You step in, it goes 0 to 100. So
Mm.
the moment they step in, they just turn to face him for, all right, what the fuck we doing now?
What's your life's worth, Roger? Not to be all philosophical, but what are you here for?
Oh, you sound like that quack they tried to set me up with. What am I here for? What am I here? I'll tell you what I'm here for. I'm here for whatever the fuck I want to be here for. If I want to be here to go run off and play fucking politician, I could get my fucking way there. And if I wanted to go be a millionaire, I'd find some fucking way to do it. I'm here for whatever the fuck I want, because I'm tired of doing shit for other people.
So you want to just be your own boss is what I'm hearing.
Every time someone says, be your own boss, it's a fucking scam. I want to be the one saying that. Because I've had so many people just take and take and take and give me nothing back. I want to be the person that takes now. Take what's owed to me. What I deserve.
And again, it's dark, so you really can't even see him. But it sounds like he's almost moving around you. I mean, you're kind of doing that drunk stagger, but it sounds like his voice is coming from, like, around you as he talks. Are you the kind of man who's going to take what he wants?
I'm gonna be the type of man they gonna just straight give me what I want. I could sell them shit and they gonna pay me for gold, and I'm gonna make them pay me for gold. Cause I ain't gotta use my fists, cause people are stupid and needy and idiotic. You tell them the right things, they give you whatever the fuck you want. It don't matter if they like it.
Are you above hurting people?
Apparently not, if you ask anyone that knows me. Not above hurting myself if it gets the job done, either. Allegedly.
What about Lori? You hurt her.
How you know about Lori?
You talk in your sleep.
Alright. You wanna know the funniest thing? I loved that woman at one point. I wanted to do everything right. I wanted to be that provider. Get you education, get you a good job, have kids before you're 30, make the whole fucking nuclear family bullshit. And I did that. And what did she do to me?
She fucked the pool boy.
She fucked the pool boy out. She fucked the pool boy. She turned our house upside down, and when I react as any person would, suddenly, I'm the problem. I'm a danger. My son gets taken. And now everything I worked to provide, down the shitter just as quick as it came. So that's the thing. I may have hurt her, yes. But she hurt me too. So she ain't some fucking angel. And if I hurt someone that deserves it, well, maybe I like hurting who deserves it. Someone who's no longer my own.
What if you could just cut ties with all this shit that chains you down? Just be free from it all.
Then I'd be asking what you about to sell me, because you just so happen to be saying the wonderful thing that everybody wants, myself included. I would love it. I'd love to just cut all this shit away, and it's on my terms now. Just be not the boss, the goddamn ruler, the emperor. I'm the fucking king. Know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. You just want that chance to just break free. No chains. Just do what you want. Live every night to its fullest.
That's what life's for. Not this stupid responsibility and shit. The only things I want are the things I decide for myself. Nothing more.
What would you do if you had that kind of power? Would you make those who hurt you? Would you make them suffer?
Apparently they suffer just from me being around. But I don't need them to suffer. I need them to not be able to live without me, so I hold every card. So if I want to be there, they laugh and they smile. And if I don't want to be there, they cry and they squall and they start drawing up nooses and going up to the top floor of the skyscraper. I want the power to have things on my terms. Fuck it if they suffer, and if they want to suffer, they'll suffer, but everything's gonna be on my terms one day.
I would offer you something, but you're not the kind of man who's going to beg for something.
If you're offering something for all this, you wouldn't bring it up unless you wanted to give it to me.
Oh, I
and
do.
I think you do.
I do.
So what the fuck we waiting for?
And he reaches a hand out and just grabs you by the throat again and like squeezes.
Is this similar from the faintest recollections of the first night, or is this something a bit more?
It's like he remembers this from last night. Like, oh wow, this felt really good last night. Till it starts getting tighter, like going from okay, this is a turn on to oh shit, I don't know if I'm totally into this.
Nah, there's no time for like safe word shit or like hey kind of stuff. No, the minute it starts getting tight, they'll just grab on the hand and start trying to kick out.
Okay.
Probably very ineffective from how much alcohol they've had.
You see the strong take what they want. They don't ask permission. I'm gonna make you strong, but first I have to take what I want. And you watch as his mouth opens wide and there's these long fucking fangs in his mouth.
The last thing in their mind before probably the rest of the night fades to a blur is what in the goddamn fuck is that?
Yep. And then the mouth moves forward and then what seems like hours, days, you just don't even know how much time goes by, and you wake up in darkness, and you've had this feeling before that when you wake up in darkness you're like, oh shit, here comes the hangover. And it's not a hangover. You feel like you're on that same bed again. You're like, I remember this, and like your vision is like clear. You're like, okay, I have been here, I know this bed. And you can look around and you can see a little better in the dark. Like there's still that same light, but you can see just a little better. And across from the bed there's just a plain old chair, and Al is sitting there just drumming his fingers on his legs. How do you feel?
Well, I'm not in a hospital bed, so I suppose I could be worse. Surprised I'm not having a splitting headache right now, but maybe I'm lucky.
I gave you the greatest gift there is. You should feel awesome.
Advil?
You don't need that shit anymore.
Did you finally get more lights in here? And as they're talking, they're kind of feeling their neck from where they got strangled.
Yeah. There feels like there should probably be bruises or something, but or more pain. There's not, but you do feel 2 holes on your neck.
Do I remember what I last saw?
Yeah, you're like, and Al gets up and he says, oh, sorry, I missed that. And he leans over and licks your neck slowly.
Do didn't know I didn't take you for a fantastical type, you know? I mean, I get it, bedroom talk kind of stuff, but, you know, just saying, not what I expected. You're full of surprises. I like that. I liked that about you.
I'm done with the games now.
That was you playing games?
Yeah. I hope you had fun. I did.
Well, I did, but you're talking if the game is over. I feel like I'm missing something here.
We're on different footing, shall we say. Last night we were friends. Tonight we're on more of a familial relationship now.
Oh, God. Did I propose?
No, but I did bring you into the family, as it were. And he smiles and you see the fangs again. You can make a... let's take a look. You have no occult. I mean, I would say...
They have...
Yeah.
They have nothing for, like, what the fuck is that? Because right now they just think, oh, this is like some goth shit. Didn't take you for that, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, because I was going to say if he had even some occult, he's like, yeah, I watched Dracula once, and you know, but...
Not a drop. He's seen it. Completely bullshit. Not worth his time.
Okay. Then I'm not going to bother with the roll, because he's probably not... He's probably thinking of some kind of goth guy or something. And when Roger doesn't seem to be kind of putting two and two together, he says, you've heard the stories of people who live at night, who move about by night and take what they want.
Well, what exactly you getting at? Because, like, I've heard of goths. I know they've got some fucking 500 terms for the same shit for goths now. Is that kind of what we're talking about here? Or... Also, where did you get these done? Because how the hell... Like, is it a genetic thing, if you don't mind my asking?
I got them when I joined the family.
And you brought me in the family.
I felt like you needed to be guided into a useful member of our society.
And they're gonna, like, kind of like a what the fuck am I doing? Like, of course there's nothing there. Like, this is just a hoax or a joke or like a role play thing. But they're gonna, like, take a thumb and, like, kind of feel on their own incisors real quick. Their canines. Not incisors, canines.
Yep.
Teeth.
And I forget. I think you have to, like, pop them, I think, like, as a vampire. I don't quite remember rules wise. But he notices it's a little sharp. Just a little, and maybe has just like a little tiny drop of blood. And it's his blood, but it looks delicious.
Without thinking, like, they see their blood on their thumb, there's no hesitation. It's...
But everybody does that, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, they, rather than just like a little sip, it's just like an actual moment to, like, hold it on their tongue for a moment, and
Just
dear
savors
God, does
it.
that...
Yeah.
Does that taste amazing? And wait, nope. What the fuck? Nope, not supposed to do that. Not supposed to do that. Can't afford no fucking hospital for an infection.
You won't need a hospital for anything like that ever again.
Alright. So...
Do you know what the stories say of vampires?
Them sparkly bitches, or we talking like what was that movie? Black and white. Fucking shit.
Nosferatu?
Yes, that one with the fucking misshapen cue ball motherfucker.
Those are the stories that have been around for a long time, though. The stories we allow to be out there.
I'm sorry, we?
It's all true, Roger. We do exist, although we hide our nature.
That night at the bar, you were cold. Al goes like feel on their neck, like ignoring the puncture wounds as like even with their like no knowledge of anything.
And the puncture wounds are gone now. Because after he licked you, if you feel up in there again, they're gone.
They'll feel around it and see, are they cold now too?
Yeah. I mean, most people kind of know what their body temperature is, and you're feeling it, aren't you?
Oh boy. Okay.
I'm gonna introduce you to something way better than tequila, way better than cocaine, better than sex.
You know, this wondrous thing, I'm gonna hazard a guess if we're going along with this thing. I'm guessing it's red, rhymes with mud, something along those lines.
Let's not play games anymore. I've made you into one of us. You are a vampire. You will avoid the sun. You will drink blood to survive. Let's not dick around about this anymore.
You're being serious.
I'm being absolutely serious. You needed direction. You're aimless. You needed to focus. You needed to become the man you're meant to be. That no one's gonna fuck with. That you do what you want. You take what you want. But you were too afraid to do it. Hiding behind alcohol.
I ain't hiding shit. I'm right here.
You won't need any of that anymore.
Well, since we're just oh so wonderful now, what's the plan?
I think we're gonna go out and we're gonna get us a bite to eat.
All right.
And we are going to move ahead just a little bit. They are going to go out. It's late now. I mean, it's probably at least 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And you are going to go back to that same hip-hop club that you had been at. As people are getting out of the club. And you wait kind of a couple doors up from the club exit. And there's people, young people kind of coming out the door. And you recognize a couple people from the bar, some people you'd been hanging out with. And they're staggering out, they're laughing. And Al kind of leans over your shoulder and says, "They're wonderful people, weren't they?"
Yeah, I didn't want to absolutely kill most of them.
You don't have to. You don't have to kill them. I can teach you. Killing them is probably not the best thing to do. You don't want to leave too many clues about. Let's just say that you're thanking them for a great night. They were fun. We had lots of laughs. They bought you a couple drinks. Now you want to give them a good time.
All right.
You can follow my lead if you want. And There's, we'll say, a group of three, two girls and a guy, come out, and again, these are ones you recognize, and they're kind of coming down the street towards you. It says, "Watch," and he kind of slips out of the shadows and goes, "Oh, hey guys, was Michael and Renee and Janelle, was it?" And they were like, yeah, hey Al, how are you? And he's like, "I'm doing great. I just came from that after hours place you guys were telling me about. It. You guys going there?" They're like, "Well, yeah, we're gonna go there." They're like, where's Roger?"
Roger was informed to stay behind, but at that moment of being called and this entire kerfuffle of, oh, do as I do and learn this, they're like, all right, you know what? Enough games. If we're doing this, and they can't shake the feeling that something's off here, that this might be not just some roleplay thing. But of course it has to be, right? But fuck it, let's commit to the bit. They'll slip from the shadows, just all smiles.
Roger,
Adjusting
hey.
Sorry, had to go take a leak back there after having one too many over at the sports bar.
Yeah.
Hey, goes in as pissed, comes as pissed. Know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Once you break the seal, right?
Hey, just don't stop.
And the girls are shit-faced. They're like, "Roger, you gotta come with us. Places. And the one girl comes up, Janelle, because and puts her arms around you. And not only does she smell terrific, and when you hug her, you can feel her body against you. And this is actually, I think I do want to roll on this. Let's do wits and awareness to see if you notice something different.
Let's find out.
Yep.
So that's 3 successes.
You feel Janelle's heart beating as she hugs you. And it's beating fast because she's excited. She's happy. There's alcohol through her veins. And it's just something like you've never felt. I mean, this girl's a stranger to you before tonight, but now you're like, I need to have her.
They don't need to just have her. They need to have her give to him. Anyone can take by force. But when people give to you, even when it's against their best interest, that thought is just making Roger absolutely keyed in right now.
How? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe we should. Hey, y'all three, lead the way.
And Al looks over Roger for a second and then looks at Michael and Renee and says, "Why don't you guys go to the club now and we'll see you later?" And Michael's he's like, "What?" And Al goes, "Yeah, go away. We'll catch up with you later." And Michael takes Renee's hand. All right. And they leave their friend, behind. Janelle doesn't seem to notice that. She's too busy hanging on to Roger.
I was always wondering, you ain't got no one special back home, right?
She's like, nah. You're my buddy, man. I just met you tonight, but, I feel like I've known you for years. And Al slides up as well. And he kind of puts a finger under Janelle's chin.
Well, how's about, for all those years you think you knew me, let's do some catching up, shall we?
And she's like, Okay.
And at this point, it's fuck it. We've committed to the bit. The worst thing that happens is, you get run off from another club. Oh well. And they go in to kiss the side of her neck. And fuck it. They'll say, all right, let's just try and buddy.
And
See what
Al
happens.
slides a hand on your shoulder, and he goes, "There's eyes watching," and he kind of glances, and you notice that there are cameras outside the club.
Oh, there's always people watching. Just wanted to give a little kiss to our good friend here.
He's like, "Why don't we?" He's like, "Why don't we take the party back over here?" And he leads you to the convenient alley that all cities have, away from the cameras.
All the while, Roger's kind of wondering, why do I feel like drooling but don't drool? Why do I feel like I've been given a lobster? But they're keeping it up. It's like, maybe a little peace and quiet before you get real rowdy into the clubs. You can't have your highs without your lows. You can't have your party without a little bit of somber, You get what I mean?
And Al is kind of standing over you, and Janelle's kind of like, well, I'm kind of more into Roger, but I guess I'm okay with Al if you wanna. And Al's like, shut up, and she stops talking. And Al says, and just like I did to you, right on the neck, slow. Don't. You're gonna feel like you want it all. And he like leans in, he bites Janelle, and just seems to just take. And she kind of leans back her head in ecstasy. And Al just takes a little bit, and then he's like, "I started it for you."
A part of them is thinking,
What the fuck is this?
Well, it's like, okay, did they actually see her bleeding?
Yeah. I mean, the blood is starting to drip down.
They're kind of at a point where the rational part is, what the fuck? But also, Al's great, but they're not a fucking kid with a Capri Sun. They can open their own goddamn Capri Sun. In this case, a Capri Sun called, shit, Roger doesn't even remember her name.
Janelle.
Because it's not important. Janelle, she's great. But they're going to open the other end and bite another part of her neck. Because they're a grown person. They can bite people's necks for themselves.
Okay. All right. So then, yeah, you sink in. Al leans over, licks the other side of her neck. She's like, oh my god. And it is the most amazing thing that Roger has ever tasted. She tastes sweet. He tastes bits of alcohol in her blood, which almost seems to make it better. And he wants to keep going. He's just like, oh my god, like this is the greatest thing I want to ever have.
It's always that feeling of just one more, just another drink, just another hit, just another line, just another pill, just another tap, just another little bit of blood. And it doesn't occur to them that they just equated drugs and booze with blood. It doesn't matter, because that's what they want. Just a bit more.
Al puts another hand on her shoulder and says, that's enough. You're going to kill her.
Against all judgment, because they feel weirdly still close to Al, but it's different now. They let go, and they try to copy him and very sloppily try to lick. But as they're doing that, did they see like that they made a similar bite mark to Al?
Yeah. And your fangs are just glistening with blood.
They instinctively just lick them clean because a predator has instincts now.
And you know what you've become.
Oh boy.
We need to get Janelle back to her friends. She's going to be missed soon enough.
Does Janelle look like out of it, or is she like coming to?
She's out of it. Yeah, she was already pretty drunk to begin with, and now the blood you've taken from her, she really can't even stand up on her own.
Is she wearing lipstick or lip gloss?
One. Yeah, sure. One. She probably has her purse with her.
They'll gently like hold her chin and kiss her on the lips because they want to. But also, if anyone asks, well, you sometimes get a little too rowdy and you need to find a private spot.
And Al suggests to you that maybe we could take her back into the club that's just closing, and maybe just put her in a chair and the staff will take care of her. We wouldn't want to leave her out here on the street where something bad could happen to her.
Worse than us.
And,
all right.
Yeah, and he'll. Yeah, you take her back in. Al talks to the security guard, who was kind of like, well, hey, you guys can't come in here. We're closed. And next thing you know, you're able to just walk right in and place Janelle on a chair. And she's like, Roger, oh man.
Come on now, you've had a little bit much. Why don't you just rest for a moment?
What happened?
Just relax. Well, things got a little randy, and then all of a sudden you started feeling sick, and, well...
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I throw up?
No, not... Well, yes, but it's alright. It's a dumpster, baby. It's fine.
Oh,
shh.
I'm sorry.
Hey, don't be sorry. I don't want to see that cute little face sad. Now, why don't you just take a rest here till you feel better? Ain't that right? Just rest.
Al comes over with a big glass of water and goes, here you go. Think you might be a little dehydrated. She's like, thanks, Jim? She says, your name's Jim, right? He's like, whatever you want to call me, darling.
Now, I think we need to go, but you do us a favor and you be safe out there. You hear me?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start staying in now. I got my son at home, and I know I shouldn't be going out. My mom's watching him, and she turns into a blubbering mess, talking about her son.
Al does not Al, Jesus. I'm so out of it, I swapped characters, wow. Roger does... It's been fun for Roger, but now it's like, the minute a son is mentioned, all that's like, okay, okay, Bethany, like, let's... But they're still gonna smile and just pat her on the shoulder and try and, like, halfway listen.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. Just get some rest. You can go back and see him, and, well, if you behave, then maybe come out again. Maybe you'll see me again.
I'd like
but
that.
You gotta rest first.
I'd like that.
Oh, I'd love that.
Okay.
But you need to rest. Dry them tears. Just take a nap here at the bar. They'll let you. We talk to them. You just need some rest is all.
Okay. And then she just probably breaks out her phone to try to start looking things up, and Al is kind of guiding you towards the door.
Oh yeah, the minute like the attention's off them, it's time to go.
Yeah.
This is the clingy part. We avoid the clingy part.
So you leave. We are gonna kind of move forward a couple nights. You learn the basics of vampirism from Al. He tells you are in a family of. He uses the term clan, which you're not familiar with, but it almost seems like clan and family almost aren't quite the same. you're just not sure because you're like, wait, something called the Ravnos, he calls them, and he says that's our blood, our clan.
All right, so we're what was it? Ravnos, Ravnos. What the hell was it again?
Ravnos.
Right. Okay. So the basics: don't get caught. Don't let nobody know what the fuck you are. I guess that's given. Mm-hmm. So there's got to be more to it than that because you're kind of making it sound like too sweet of a deal.
Yeah, he will. We're just gonna go over. He will basically give you, avoid the sun. Garlic, all that doesn't do anything to you. Holy symbols, for the most part, don't do anything. He will mention that there are laws of your kind. You hear something about some kind of vampire rules. Maybe there's like some kind of vampire government. He doesn't seem to go into that because it doesn't sound like something he personally follows. So it's kind of like there's a government of vampires, but you don't have to listen to what they say.
As if they were going to anyway.
Right. Right. And he tells you that your blood calls out to forever wander, to not really stay in one place for very long. He will tell you that you cannot spend the same night you cannot spend 2 nights in a row in the same place, that you need to find a new place to stay. He says generally about a mile or 2 can make the difference, but we're always on the run.
On the run from what?
And he chuckles and he says, some say there's a boogeyman out there, an old members of the family, maybe. I think it's all bullshit. Some shit about something happened in India. I don't give a fuck. I don't live in India. I know where I live here. I'm gonna do what I want every night. But you gotta be smart. You can take what you want, but don't be stupid and leave bodies behind. Don't leave stories behind. Like I showed you, there's cameras everywhere. It's 2025. There's cameras everywhere. You gotta be smart. Because if you call too much attention to yourself, there's people who hunt our kind, and I'm not bullshitting you. They will find out what you are, who you are, and they will put a fucking wooden stake, no lie, through your chest. I have seen it happen.
Then let's just kill them first.
That's the idea. Try to fuck with their mind, because you're gonna find that you're very persuasive. You were persuasive to begin with. Admit it. You knew you could bullshit people.
It's not bullshitting them. I'm just telling them what they want to hear. It don't matter if it's true or not. Does it ever matter?
You're gonna find you're a lot better at it now.
So, that thing, that's what you're talking about. That club, when you just told them other folks to fuck off. And they just happy smiles as if you didn't tell them to just go fuck off. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So how do I do that? And I imagine this conversation is taking place in the 2
overnights. Yeah.
Like overnights.
In the RV. It's a montage of all that. He because I know your character has he has fortitude, presence, and obfuscate. He tells you the basics of it, but none of it seems to come easily to you. You're like, wait, I thought the whole, like, I could walk up and just stare into their eyes and do the ooh, and they do what I tell them. It hasn't worked for you yet.
They're getting a little annoyed because you see someone act as if it's so easy, and they tell you, you can do it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, little vampire, and you fuck it up. It's like, okay, what the fuck? But at one point, Roger does kind of get a little curious. Alright, so vampire government, part of a nope, not family, clan, and can't sleep same place, so on, so on. I hear you, don't worry, I hear you. I'm just cutting to my point here. What do we do? Like, there's got to be something here, because as amazing as it is to just hit up the bars and, take a little sip, a little snack every now and then, it's got to be something you do.
What do you feel like doing? You don't have a job anymore. You don't have responsibility. If you play it right, you can be considered dead and move on. You can break those chains, Roger. You can fake your own death and be done, be free from it all.
That'd be nice, but doing all that does require some of that dinero.
Then get some money.
Well, I guess I always was an aspiring business person.
You can still work. You're a trucker, right?
Yeah, but long hauls and having to answer to some fucking customer because, oh, you parked in the wrong dock. Nah, I think we could do something better for ourselves. What about... Not everyone can be as good as we are at getting a sip, right?
Right.
What about something like that? Just, hey, like fucking Uber Eats, I need a pint here, and instead of a Guinness, you roll up with a ginger.
I'm sure there's probably a niche for that. That's where it comes into that vampire government thing you gotta be careful about. Because they follow those rules real tight. So you can, if you can work your way into that government, which that's just not for me. That's just kowtow onto another person. And let me tell you, this government don't get old and retire.
How old are you, if I can ask?
I'm about 175.
Damn!
I was born outside Jacksonville, Florida.
Somehow, being from Florida is not the craziest part of the conversation. It's a rarity that happens.
Yeah, me and the Sunshine State didn't really mesh too well. So after I was made, I went on my own too, and all up and down the East Coast. I'm heading west though. I hear there's like a family reunion of ours coming up, and I haven't met too many of our kind. Apparently, for a while there wasn't many of us left. Some bullshit over in India. Anyway.
Well, big old family that's suddenly reforming, and all of us, I guess, are kind of similar to you.
Yeah.
Well, that just seems like the perfect recruiting grounds for something, don't you think?
Could be. As much as I don't like people telling me what to do, I feel like I want to check this out. But Roger, don't let me drag you with me.
Heh. Dragon. Hell, I'm the one that's going to be pushing. Let's go meet some family. See if we can find some folks that we can jive with, and then we can start getting us some real goods together.
I want to know if you think your little bird's ready to fly on his own, though. You've now spent a couple nights hunting, you know.
Mine or yours? I guess technically I'm yours.
You're mine as long as I keep you.
You think of me as a canary?
Yeah. I ain't got tired of you yet.
Oh. That's a record. People usually get tired about the first 48 hours. Ain't you just sweet?
We're gonna move forward another couple nights. Al tells Roger that he is headed west. He's going to take the RV west. Do you want to come with me?
Fuck it. I'm starting to get a little tired of this city.
Leave your truck here. I'll give you a ride back when we're done. You can just ride with me.
Yeah. Fuck it, why not? Plus the diesel cost on that thing is a nightmare if you're not ready for it.
Share the costs.
Alright, Captain.
And all we got to do is just make sure we don't park the same place every night. Good as gold. So what do you say?
Well, as long as we're moving. Should be pretty easy.
Okay. You guys leave Minneapolis. The first night, you make it about as far as Rapid City. I think it's South Dakota. I've been there, but for whatever reason, I'm not remembering which state it's in.
It's somewhere up there.
Sorry, folks in Rapid City. You stop. You grab a bite. He kind of lets you go out and feed on your own. After like the first night, he kind of leaves you on your own to learn your style. Just come back when you're ready. So
Roger's kind of gotten to a point where they're starting to differentiate where they do well, and they do well in transient places. They do well truck stops. They do well in like bars just off the highway, places where people come and go, and just a traveling oasis, basically. Okay. A place where they can go, grab a bite, and not have to worry about seeing them again for maybe a little while.
Okay. I had a question about his feeding type, though.
Yes.
Roadside killer is his predator type.
Let me find the source material. Let me see here. Yes, introduced in Let the Streets Run Red. For the folks at home, hi. Just a mechanic moment. Predator type means how your kindred likes to get what they want, which is the good red shit. Roadside killer, as described. I'm having to navigate so many books. I apologize.
No problem.
This kindred feeds exclusively from the transient population, from truckers, tourists, and travelers of the world. They do pretty well with survival on the road and getting a meal at any of these spots, but they kinda can't stick around, if you know what I mean. Once you get a bite once of someone that's kind of sticking around, you get old real quick.
Okay. Which works perfect for this clan and for his lifestyle. So yeah. So I wanted to make sure the folks knew that was his predator style. The next night, you're again, just seems like goddamn driving forever. We're gonna skip ahead a couple nights where you get into Montana, and you are driving west along I-90. This is an area where, and I'll tell the story at the end for tonight, there is nothing. You are on a highway, nothing. Empty fields, hills, there's nothing. Okay. Dead quiet. You find that Al likes to drive with the windows open in the front of the RV, so obviously the cool air doesn't bother him, but he seems to really enjoy that cool air.
Oh, they're enjoying it too. I mean, it's annoying trying to keep a paper map open of wind blowing, but they're rolling. They're on the road. It takes being dead for them to feel free for the first time.
You feel alive.
A long while.
Yeah. You're driving around, and Al probably hasn't said anything for about an hour or so. He's not quite as chatty as he was when he was, on the make, trying to get you. One point he goes, "Let me see that phone of yours."
There, and Al's not paying attention. They're just kind of like look at the map, trying to see. Okay, we're
you, Roger,
here.
him, Al. So.
Right, Roger.
Roger,
Al, Roger. Listen,
Roger.
You're so close.
Yeah.
But Roger doesn't even think. They just pass the phone over while they're looking at the map.
Mm-hmm. He takes it. He tosses it out the window.
What the fuck?
You won't need it anymore.
We still call and text people. We sending pigeons now, or?
He looks over at you, and he's got one hand firmly on the wheel. And he leans over and he grabs Roger by his shoulder and starts pushing him towards the open window on the passenger side. He is trying to shove him.
Oh, they are fighting it back because what the fuck?
Yeah, we're gonna make a contested strength roll, because
that they are probably gonna win, but it's important.
Yeah. It's gonna be really just a strength and I'd say strength and athletics then. So
yes, strength and athletics.
Strength and athletics. Oops. Wait.
So. I got one.
Okay. Let me roll for Mr. Al. Yeah.
Al just gets 15 crit success. Just chuck me back to Canada or something.
Well, he got 5 successes.
Uh-oh.
He is shoving you through the open window. It's not one swift motion because you're scrabbling, you're trying to hang on, and he is lifting you out and shoves you out the passenger window, so you go flying out of this vehicle going 90 miles an hour probably. You hit the side of the road and go tumbling head over heels into this prairie of nothingness.
As they tumble, and it's just grunts, groans, occasional curse words of what the fuck, and assorted foul language that your mother would not be proud to hear you saying. And as they finally stop, they're just kind of dazed for a moment, looking up at the evening sky, just wondering what just happened.
It's the clearest sky you've ever seen. There's so many stars out. I mean, you are out in the middle of nowhere. There's no pollution. And you realize how alone you are for the first time.
Shit. And they get up, and I'm imagining that RV's already over the horizon at this point.
Yeah. And that's where we're going to end for tonight. So I hope folks have enjoyed this. This was an idea I had for a short story a couple of years ago. My wife and I were literally driving through Montana during the day, and there are just stretches where you will drive for 20, 30 miles, nothing. I mean, you'll come up to an exit, it will say exit closed, because there's nothing to get off, or there's no reason for you to get off. So this is where Roger's been left.
Delightful. Listen. This isn't a setback. This is just opportunity to Roger. They're gonna cuss the fuck out of Al to the horizon for about 5 minutes, but this is opportunity, not a setback. Until the sun comes up, then we got a problem.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna pick up, folks. Next week we're gonna complete this story. We are gonna see how Roger deals with this abandonment. He's been dropped on the side of the road. So want to thank Minty for taking on this story for me. I approached him with an idea for a vampire game. I gave him a little bit of information so he could plan, but not all of it. So I appreciate it, and I'm really looking forward to next week to seeing what he does. So thank you. Anything you want to going on? You want to advertise or?
No advertisements. Just reminder everyone, it's getting hot. Hydrate. Don't abandon your children on the side of the road, But if you got to, at least give them a canteen or something, because god damn. Hold your loved ones close. Shit's getting crazy. Be crazier. Outlive it.
All right. Well, we have next week. We have a couple games coming up. We have, Wednesday. We are going to be playing some Dragonbane. We're going to get back with the Trash Mob. Thursday, hopefully some Delta Green, which Minty and I are both players in Impossible Landscapes. And then next Friday night, we're going to see what happens to Roger Thompson in the wilderness. So thanks again for everybody watching. Please go ahead and like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And we will see you next week. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.